absolutely. So we wanted to try this out on a Tuesday. So we moved this to Tuesday where the name is now Marketing Secrets Revealed. And so once a month, we're going to get together and go over some different marketing secrets that we've discovered in doing a whole bunch of marketing for so many real estate agents. You know, we love working with DPR. So this is a DPR exclusive kind of webinar, Zoom meeting format, whatever. So we're more than happy to be working with you guys today. And so me and Beth and Melinda. So if you don't know me, I am Becky. I am with Valleywide Title, and Beth and Melinda are with Landmark Title, and they work out of our East Valley and Scottsdale offices. So of course, anything you need from any of us, you can always reach out and we can help you with any of your marketing needs or title needs and escrow and everything like that. So yeah, with that, I guess, should we get, and Sarah, of course, is our wonderful marketing person. So she handles a lot of marketing, works with people a lot in creating video content. So she helps us with our marketing, but then also works with agents as well when you guys have some specific marketing needs too. So we utilize her services for that because she is like an expert, especially when it comes to video and stuff. So, all right.
Great intro. So I'm going to kick it off with some social media branding tips. And, you know, social media is just one pillar to your marketing plan. Of course, you know, you have mailers either to your sphere or to your farming areas and things like that. You also have your face-to-face and your, you know, just all your advertise, whatever you do. But this is just one prong. This is a really important one because it keeps you forefront in mind with your clients. And potentially by sharing and things like that, the more interesting and things that you post, that you can get more exposure to people who aren't your clients, people who you want to work with. So Sarah, we can go on to the next slide. So let's start by saying you got to know you want to know your clients. You want to know what their needs are and how you can help them and what their common questions are. And you want to work with people that you want to work with, people that you like, that you have common interest in. So just for this example here, this agent is going after referral business, or not referral business, I'm sorry, reload business. She's advertising, her whole campaign is advertising to out-of-state people to come here. So what she's doing is highlighting, and this was a whole campaign. This was something we did like every 3 weeks, we created a post where she would highlight a perk about moving to Arizona. So, and it was very successful for her. She got a lot of great feedback and some business out of it. So again, and we'll get into the details, but consistency is part of that too. So you always want to be looking at how you can add value to your clients and to your people that you're trying to reach out to, your potential clients. And anyway, so we're on to the next slide. So the type of clients you want to work with. This is important because, you know, you do this, real estate becomes part of your life, night and day, weekends, everything else. So personally, I like to work with people that I like to work with and that you're going to have common interest in. And maybe you go hiking with them if that's your thing, or you run with them if you're a jogger. And then you use that commonality to really stand out strong in your branding. And you find out what their needs are, and you exceed those needs, and you exceed their requests. You anticipate the questions they may have, and you jump on top of that. And we'll get more in details in the next slides. So how do you convey this? Your logo. Obviously, you always have to have your company logo. A lot of agents do their individual logo too, and they use both. And that shows, it helps show who you are. You know, you do a logo with the house, people know you're in real estate. You do, you want to have your colors and fonts chosen. It should always be very authentic. So even somebody, you may read a marketing article that says, oh, you have to have orange and blue to get people's attention. Personally, I disagree with that. I think the more authentic you are in your marketing, that's where you're going to reach the most people and have the most sincere trust and give them the most value. So picking your favorite colors as your logo is fine because you want you to shine through. Again, people want to do business with a person, not necessarily a business. So your color fonts, taglines, you know, 50-50. Some people like to have taglines, some don't. If you do have a tagline, have it show your value and show or what you value, make it sincere and authentic, and it goes a long way if you follow those rules. think we can go to the next slide. So know your clients. You want to know so how you can stay forefront in their mind. So they're going to think of you first. So again, you want to promote your niche. Do you work with first-time home buyers, which is probably really stressful right now, but if it's your niche, you want to do that. Do you work with sellers? Do you have a specific neighborhood that you're really the expert in? Do you do home staging? Are you great at, things like that? You want to promote your strengths and everything and how you can help people. And maybe you do high-end homes or something like that. Maybe you're the Morrison Ranch expert, whatever. You always want to be consistent when you're getting your message out there that this is your niche. And, obviously you can handle all their needs and you always want to let them know that, but you really want to focus on what your strong points are, because that is part of your brand. And, we'll get into this further too, but video is the easiest, quickest way for people to know, like, and trust you. And I know a lot of agents are uncomfortable with video, but I tell you, it's the best way to let your personality shine. If you don't want to get on camera at first and you're on a hike or something, show the beauty of your hike. Or if you're out to breakfast in downtown Gilbert, then, highlight the restaurant. There's things you can do that you don't have to be the star of the video, but you're still giving valuable information. People always want to know what's going on in their neighborhoods and new restaurants and things like that. And we are all here to help you with video too. And believe me, we rely on Sarah a lot to help us help you on video as well. So just keep that in mind when you are trying to stay forefront, people. You're going to have a lot of more success, I believe, with video too. Okay, next slide. So this, again, being authentic and genuine and being yourself. As you can see here, like the middle one just stands out to me. You can tell these guys have a sense of humor. They don't take themselves too seriously and they're having fun. They're just really enjoying marketing. And didn't he do one of our Marketing Matters, Sarah? Is that the guy? And he was great. He did door knocking and his personality just shined through. And to me, that was a success story. I thought that was one of our better classes because he just shined his personality through. I'm like, man, I would use this guy. He's great, So, and that's the kind of value you want to show when you're doing videos. You can see he does it in videos. If you look here, he does it with all his marketing materials. He always has that, what is it, a pickaxe? What is that called? Pickaxe?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. He always has that. And so I just right away, he stands out to me. So your brand, whether it's, I've seen the smoking realtor who smokes meats, and when he does his open houses, he has meat smoking at the open houses and people can get it. If you have a niche, and it doesn't even have to be real estate related, but you can incorporate that into your business, that's going to help you stand out so much more. And then again, you can just these are just examples of, all her cards kind of had the same theme to it, same colors and everything else. So again, strengthening your brand and being genuine. I can't tell you how far that goes. So what's next here? And consistency. So if you are mailing to a farm, do your monthly mailers, do your just listed, just sold, even if it's not in that area, you constantly want to supply that information. If you're only marketing to your sphere, whether you're doing it mail or email or that, just be consistent, set in systems in place and block out time. So 10 minutes every morning, you're going to do your social media, you're going to do your posts, you're going to interact with people. And I know Melinda's going to give you a lot of great tips, and Becky too, on social media and Facebook and things like that. But just set the time aside, time block, and stick to it, just like you do your cold calls or your referral calls. You have to block that time and put the systems in place so you're going to be consistent. And that's half the battle right there. And Becky, you're probably going to get into, like with the Facebook business page, how you can schedule your post and things like that. There's so many ways, so many systems you can put in place that you can maintain that consistency. But if you're not consistent, then you're not going to be forefront in mind, of your clients and your potential clients. So balancing out all the print, tying it in, your print to your social media, like follow me on Facebook, on your flyers, things like that, are all going to help you with your consistency and your branding. So let's see. And then again, we do the professional email signatures for agents. And when we brand the flyers and things like that, you always have a signature branding block on there. So you have that consistency of your brand going out, whether you're emailing them or posting or printing and handing them out at open houses. And we're here all to consult with you and see what is the best way for you to do your market. What is authentic to you? Do you prefer to do Facebook and social media? Do you prefer to do print? Do you prefer to do all of them? You just need some guidance. That's what we're here for. And we work with agents all the time, and we see the success that they have from following these plans and their and being consistent. So, and these little tweaks and everything, they work. It sounds like, oh, I've heard this before, but you know what? We get so bombarded with information. If we just stick to the basics and are consistent and get our brand out there constantly, that's half the battle right there. So we are here to help you with that. And then I'm going to let Melinda and Becky get into deeper details of the little the talk that I just gave. So.
Okay, so hi, it's Melinda. I'm glad everybody came this afternoon. We're going to talk about hashtags and why hashtags are important for social media. And it's something that I really like to do, and it helps to get you more exposure on your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and on your Instagram. It helps with the searching to find the audience that you want, engagement, gain followers, create relationships with people, exposure, cross-promoting platforms. It's just easier to follow. So I always start when I'm doing my social media, and I do it usually first thing in the morning or late in the afternoon. That's usually when people are going to be on their phones. And I usually start with Instagram, because you can type in the hashtags and they'll show you how many people have used that hashtag, 1 million, 100,000, whatever you want. And that way I can just copy everything I write. You just press it on there, put copy, select all, and then you can just paste it and do the same thing in Facebook and in LinkedIn. And it takes me a matter of minutes, to be honest. So on the next screen, what I did is I copied a whole bunch of common real estate hashtags for everybody. And if you can get a copy of we're recording what we're doing today, or you could take a picture with your phone right now. But these are some of the most popular hashtags that you can use on social media. Using any of these, you'll get thousands of people in our industry to look at it, to tag them, to let them know that what you're doing, and build relationships with people who want to buy and sell homes, to pick the audience that you're really looking for. So the next thing I wanted to share with you, I actually did this next one with Picture Joiner, which is an app on my phone, but you can use Canvas as well. There's a lot of Canva. There's a lot of different, apps out there that you can use. But basically what it is you want to get some more interaction from the social media. So I did this one. I just decided to, pick a balcony, and I went into Pinterest and I looked at all different kind of balconies that I kind of liked. So if I thought, if I was decorating my own balcony, which one would I like? So I just took snapshots on my phone of different ones, and then I edited it, cleaned it up. And then I basically put it in Picture Joiner in this little format of a collage. And then you can write on it. I put number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And then basically in my subject line, I just said, which balcony is your favorite? And then a lot of people just commented, said number 1, number 2, number 3. And then I used a bunch of hashtags about balconies, real estate, talent escrow, pick me, mine, a smile for Melinda, in case you're interested. So that's what's on there, and you get interaction from people, and you get to build these relationships with people. And I think it's the easiest way of doing it. It's a whole lot of fun. And these picture number things that you do like this brings a lot of interaction. People really like to do that. So it's just a great, helpful tip for you. And next, I think Becky's going to talk about building your business page in social media. So I'm going to turn it over to her.
Thank you, guys. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, I should have come up with a title slide, but I wanted to talk about how to make your Facebook business page really great. If you don't have one, get one. It's so easy to set up. It's completely free. You just want to have as many places on social media that you show up. The more places you establish yourself, then when somebody Googles your name, like if they're thinking, I think I want to work with this agent, and they'll just Google your name and see where you pop up. If you have no presence online, they'll be like, maybe they're not really so much of an agent, because they don't know really how to search to see how successful you are. So anyway, the first thing they're going to see, if, one of the top things that's SEO'd is Facebook business pages. So if you put your name in the Facebook business page, you're going to pop up. you know, unless of course your name is John Smith, I'm sorry, you're going to have to be a little more creative and come up with a nice little tagline or something. So here's an example of the first thing they're going to see is your banner, which is that big, you know, the big photo that you put at the top of your Facebook business page. So this is an example of, if you look on the computer, the one on the left there, it actually is a great banner. It works great on the computer, but about 88% of people using Facebook are doing it on their phones. So which means only 12% are actually seeing that computer version. So if you look at the phone version on your right, you can see it's like cut off on the edges. So that means like it's not getting the message across that you want it to be. So they're like, I'm not, and most of them aren't going to click on the image to actually read what's on there. So you really don't have to have a whole lot of information on the banner itself. There's actually, I kind of looked at some of the successful agents, like even in the Phoenix area, and a lot of them don't have any info on their banner. They maybe put just nice pictures of Arizona, or, you know, let's say they work in like the Arcadia area and they put a nice picture of, you know, like the houses that get rebuilt in the Arcadia area, what those nice farmhouse houses look like right now. Like they'll do something like that. Kind of, it goes along with their niche, but they don't even have to create something. So you don't have to have it so busy, you know. So this is, I mean, it looks nice and everything, but so we'll go to the next one. This is an example of somebody who put things in the right spots. So you look on the computer one, it's fine. You see all this guy's information and he put it all towards the middle of the graphic. So then when it's on the phone, it cuts off a little bit of the pictures, and that's fine. There's nothing we can do about that. So it shows everything. And honestly, he could have skipped the whole phone number and website, because nobody's going to sit there and look at a picture and go back and forth and dial that phone number, because you can't click on it. It's not tappable. They're not going to sit there. So that's what all that about info on the page is for. So he could have just put his name and the nice little homes that match life quality style. You know, he could have done that, like put his name and his brokerage if you want to make a nice graphic like that. So that to me like is a pretty good banner. So moving on to the next one here, when you're setting it up too, you can kind of create what they call, people call it URL and stuff like that. It's basically make sure that your business page shows up as your, you know, URL. It's you create your custom username and your URL, make sure it's got your name in it. It can be, you know, John Smith, best Phoenix realtor, or something like that, whatever it is that you're doing, or, you know, whatever, you can integrate your tagline into it as well. Maybe don't put your brokerage name in there, because, you know, as much as you love your brokerage right now, who knows, 5 years from now, you never know. So anyway, we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so you want to fill out the whole about section too, because the more like your business profile is complete, then it's just easier to get a hold of you and contact you. Have a description. In the description, maybe talk a little bit about your history in real estate, something like that, or why you got into it. There's, you know, choose categories, put all your contact information in there. And that's where it's important that your website's in there, all of your phone numbers and email and everything like that, so that they can get a hold of you and they can just click on it. I mean, well, maybe, I know some agents are kind of like weird about their email. If you don't want to put that, at least like have a way, you know, direct them to the website, and then they can use that little form or whatever. Because I know there's like, unfortunately, there's a lot of kind of spammers and scrapers out there that will go and like just pull everybody's email address, and then they'll just, you know, spam you to no end. So if you don't want to put your email address, I totally get that. Put a location in there. I say with hours, a lot of agents will put just 24 hours, 7, you know, like it's open all the time as an agent. And you can even put that, call me anytime. Fill out the extra options, things like that. Okay, so next. So once you've got that all set up, just start posting. And if you're just setting this up for the first time, go ahead and kind of fill it up with several posts, because what happens is when somebody looks at it even if like, let's say you're like, but I just set it up yesterday, I should have an excuse of why it's only got one post. Go ahead, throw 5 posts in there, just because they're not always looking at when you posted. It just needs to be kind of pre-filled in. So these are just some examples of types of posts that you can do. So there's one advertising the property this one's a coming soon. You can also put in there that you've got one under contract that's sale pending, or just closed. So you can put the just listed, just closed, things like that, kind of brag about it. And with this one that's like all blue, if you go to this guy's Facebook page, all of his are very standard as far as like he's got it all uniform. So pretty much the posts all look the same. The pictures are different and the details are different, but they look the same. So he's got that uniformity in his branding and stuff like that. So you want that. And this is great to kind of set yourself up a template. That way you can just insert it in and drop things in yourself, things like that. So when you're doing this, of course, you want to teach, entertain, inform, and inspire is what you're trying to do on these Facebook posts. So there's the second one there, the one on the right, which is just like one of those helpful, you're sharing like an article, something that people can use, in educate them more a little bit about real estate stuff that's going on in the market, things like that. Okay, so more examples of posts on the next slide. So then there are the, kind of like how Melinda was saying, like what your favorite things. I really liked that balcony post. That would be a great one to share, of course, on Instagram or Facebook. Things that get interaction. Let's see, there's one on the left that's asking a question. It's important to ask questions to kind of, induce engagement. And it says, what's your favorite thing about multi-level living room space? So you'll see on that one, there's like steps in there. Maybe some people don't like multi-level living spaces and stuff like that. So maybe you could even throw that question out there. Is it important to all have one level, or is it okay to have steps inside? Like kind of bring that conversation up, because I know that's actually a big issue with especially like older Phoenix parts, that there's a lot of this going on in the houses. And a lot of people don't like it. They want it all leveled. They're filling in rooms and stuff like that. So kind of just create that conversation. Then there's the call to action one, like the one on the right, that's basically saying, it actually has a link to their website to do like a home search. And then they can, you can contact them to find a home, something like that. Or you can do a link to find your home's value if you've got that on your website or something like that. So go on to the next slide. And then there's the fun ones too. So don't just keep it real estate. Well, also, before I get into these, of course, fill it in too with the content that we provide. So we provide some fun and informational content, which is great. Our Valley Roundup, the Weekender, and then any other seasonal stuff that we do, whether it's football schedules or spring festivals or something like that, where the pumpkin patches are, those are super fun to throw in there. It gets you kind of involved in the community. I've seen some that maybe they're going to a community event that's like open to the public, and they'll even say, hey, I'm going to this tonight. I hope it's great. I'll see you there if you're coming. It's throw it out there, that showing that you're involved in the community and doing fun things. So similar to like Melinda had with that balcony asking questions one, this one's just a fun one. You can keep only 3, and it has like a list of, fun, frivolous stuff that we all love. I hate that list because there's like way more than 3 that I would want. So yeah, I would say I don't like your rules. But anyway, then the next one is going over like, those like crazy holidays. Those are always fun. This one is actually kind of a history one, but you can also like post about the crazy holidays. Like, oh, did you know it's National Cat Day and stuff like that? And you can post pictures of cute kitties. And like, you can actually have a call to action. Show me a picture of your cat if you have one. So then this one is Sarah's coffee, lip gloss, and leggings. She's got That's great. This one is like a ridiculous post about the peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich thing. It's called a fluffer butter. So anyway, it just talks about that it first showed up in 1918. So anyway, just fun stuff like that to keep people engaged, keep it lighthearted. Show a little bit of your personality. in them. And that's like in your posts. And then on your stories, you can get more personal and just like your stories show a little bit of your daily life. Just pick up the phone and start recording yourself if you're at an open house or if you're looking at a property, or even just if you're at the market and you see something interesting, you know, just show them a little bit of your life, throw that in your story. That's great, you know. And so we'll go on to the next slide here, just to kind of sum everything up. Oh, other things too, videos. Obviously videos are awesome. These get a lot of engagement. We have one where a guy is like doing a kind of a charitable thing with dogs and stuff like that. He's made a video about his charitable work that he's doing. Then there's the other one where he's doing a market update. That's great because that's one of the things we can provide you with is a nice little graphic of a market update. You can make a video about that, just explaining what those numbers are. Because sometimes, you know, the average consumer might see like a graphic that's got, I don't know how many, 5 to 7 little number categories about what's going on in the market. But sometimes it's just like number overload for people. So if you're just going to explain what those numbers mean and compare it to like what it's been doing recently and stuff like that, that would be a great thing to do. So that's obviously content that's easy for you guys to explain. It's easy for you to explain what the stats mean because that's stuff you look at all the time, but maybe your friends or the followers in your Facebook group don't quite understand that. And it would be great for you to explain it. You look like an expert. It's amazing. So that's one. And that's one he did on Facebook Live. Lives actually get a lot of attention because people get a little notification like, hey, Philip is on Facebook Live right now. And it will sit there in their notifications. So even when you're not on live anymore, it sits there and then you can click on it and it's like, oh, it's not live anymore, but you can go watch it. So you can watch it even though it's past. So those are awesome. All right, next slide. Okay, so yeah, just in summary, increasing engagement. This is what you want to do: teach, entertain, inform, or inspire. Keep it short because we have the shortest attention span, especially when we're scrolling through through Facebook and stuff like that. The most people, like a post that actually gets looked at is average of 2.5 seconds is one that isn't getting just passed by. So they will stop and look at it for 2.5 seconds. So it doesn't need to be wordy. It needs to be, you know, something that you put on there. It's got to have like a nice. The next one is use great images. If you don't have images like that you're taking yourself, you're totally free to use stock images, kind of like that one picture of the interior of a home or something like that, or like Melinda did with the pulling them off Pinterest or something. If you're using Canva has a whole bunch of images on there too. So you can use those images to create a conversation. They don't have to specifically be yours. And I see other people that find ways to make great images too. Maybe they're talking about like their morning routine. They've got their cute little cup of coffee and their computer and a little notebook and stuff like that. So they'll take a picture of that. And if you don't have a cute setting, I even heard of one person that she actually took a foam board, you know, that like you can buy at the supply store, whatever, office supply store, the foam board, and she put marble contact paper on it, you know, that contact paper. So it had this like marble, so she I don't know, she didn't live where she had a marble countertop. So she did that and then made her little settings on that, where she's got her little coffee cup and all that cute stuff on this marble background and stuff like that. So it's like you can create, if you can get a little creative, some nice images. Obviously make the videos, do the lives, ask questions to get people engaged. And also when people do respond to it, respond back to them, because the more activity that's garnered, then it shows up on other people's, because of the whole algorithm thing. The more activity it's getting, other people will see it. So they kind of like test it out on a few people. They like, okay, so I know that Sarah always looks at when Becky posts on her Facebook group. So we're going to show Sarah. If Sarah engages, then we'll show it to more people. If Sarah doesn't engage, forget it. Maybe this wasn't a good post. That's kind of how it works. And so be engaged. And so actually I saw that there was one company that tested it, because you can actually go and look at like your algorithms and see what your engagement is. and even see when people are responding. So one company found out that every time somebody responded or shared or did something like commented or liked it, then 7 other people also saw it. And sometimes those weren't even people that were already following it. It just like showed up, that somebody's interacting with this. So it could have been their friends, saw that post. So anyway, that's really great too. That's why you want to get this interaction so that you can grow your fan base. Post consistently. I know that Beth really talked about that. With the Facebook business page, you can schedule your posts in advance. So if you find out that most people are reading your posts at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, then schedule them to that's when they appear. So, and you can do it in advance. So you can do a lot of content and then schedule it out. So that's something fun you can do. Use your stories, make them comfortable and casual. They don't have to be beautiful. People are more forgiving, and also stories, if you're not familiar with stories, they disappear after 24 hours anyway. So it's not like whatever you put on your normal Facebook feed is going to kind of just be there forever. Everybody can look at it later and refer to it later. Your stories, it's gone after 24 hours. So don't worry about something that you're just like, oh, I am okay having people see this now, but it's not like I want it set in stone and be part of my like forever history. That's fine. So then you can be a little more comfortable and casual and stuff like that. And the last one is to, when you have a really good post or something, you're like, this is really like good for marketing. Like this is good for my brand. Those are the ones you want to boost. So it does cost a little bit of money to do that, but it's very inexpensive, and you can like choose how many people are going to see it and how much money you're going to spend and stuff like that. So I kind of want you to play with that a little bit, boost some of your Facebook posts. I think that is a great way to get seen, just so when you have one of those posts that you're really proud of, boost it, and you'll get a lot more interaction from that. So anyway, I think is that everything is that my last slide? Yes. Okay, good. All right. Back to you.
I just wanted to say one thing.
Yes.
When it comes to your business page, make sure you invite people to like your business page.
Yes.
Have a large, personal Facebook page, then go to all those people and have them like that. That way they're getting your post and they're seeing it, and you get more exposure, because a lot of times that's the only thing that gets them over to that, because people are more usually engaged with your post.
Yeah. And don't be picky. Invite everybody.
Yes.
Every one of your friends to be on your Facebook business page, because you're like, but I only am working with people in Arizona, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? They have friends moving there, or they're thinking of doing it themselves. There are great referral sources or future sources and stuff like that. So invite everybody. It doesn't matter where they are in the world.
Good job, ladies.
All right.
Very good. Are there any questions for Beth, Becky, or Melinda? I know you guys, there's
questions,
always questions on social media.
Things that you guys have found that are working, anything that you want to comment on, feel free to, now's your chance to teach a little bit if you have something to say.
Yeah. And then if you do have any questions that you don't want to ask to the group, get in touch with Beth, Becky, and Melinda. They'd be happy to meet with you, happy to consult with you. I'm happy to come in too, and help collaborate and brainstorm. I love social media and I love video. So please reach out.
And yeah, if you have posts you want to do, but you don't feel comfortable in Canva or anything like that, you have the idea, we can put that together for you too. We're happy to help out with that. So, so just keep that in mind as well, because I know some people, it's just hard to learn another new app and things like that. So we're here to support you no matter what your level is on social media.
Yes, yes. And if it does seem overwhelming, to start creating consistent posts that all have the same look and feel and content and all of that, we have an amazing design team at Landmark Title. So it's something that if you have an idea or even half an idea, send it over to your business development managers. They'll work with the design team and they'll turn even a half idea into a whole idea and a whole idea into an entire campaign for you. That's what they specialize in. So if there are no other questions today, thank you to Beth, Becky, and Melinda for teaching today. This is great content, great stuff. We hear a lot about social media and we're all on it. We're all on it to one degree or another, but social media is a free marketing platform. So always take every advantage that you can when it comes to these platforms. William, you've got a question.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm not sure if this mic works on this one. Okay, good.
Yes.
So when you're getting followers, are you finding more success like by handing out business cards and like you mentioned, having people just go when they click follow me or just saying follow me? Are you putting your information in like Facebook groups? How are you finding most success getting followers or even doing the pay for ads?
Well, like we said, first is invite everybody in your sphere, everybody who's already your friend. The booths are a great way to do it. But then also, yeah, utilize Facebook groups that you can be part of that are maybe not real estate related, that are just kind of community based. You know, maybe there's a group for your neighborhood, things like that. So kind of bring it into the conversation. Sometimes like maybe somebody asks a question about something, you're like, oh my gosh, I just covered this on my Facebook page, and maybe even put a link to that post that you did before, something like that. So it's just kind of little ways that you can do it without being salesy or pushy, stuff like that. So utilize Facebook groups a lot is what I recommend, because you'll find little opportunities. And also, is I didn't mention is using Nextdoor app. Nextdoor is great for your community. And there's sometimes you can mention that you're a realtor. Questions come up about real estate in there all the time.
Awesome,
And
thank you.
yeah, and tie it into all your, like if you're advertising a home and just listed, just sold, or anything you do on print, always put follow me on Facebook and your information on that, like my page, anything like that, just constantly getting it out there, even subtly, you know, on just tying it into everything you do. So, you know, and you could even put it on the back of your business cards, you know, like follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, however, you know, whatever your preferred is. That's another good way. So.
Awesome.
And then Amanda, she had a question about getting some help, getting her Facebook.
I can help her.
Yes.
Amanda, I'd be happy to help you. The hardest thing about setting up the Facebook page is actually creating the banner the right size. Right. Everything else, you just kind of go click on, you know, create page and you follow the prompts. So I'd be more than happy. We can set up a time and get that going for you, because you definitely want to have a Facebook business page.
Yeah, and I don't have one, so I appreciate that. I'll connect with you, Beth. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Excellent. Yep. And then Beth will be able to help you with the content and the consistency and help you create a very successful Facebook business page campaign.
Perfect.
Yeah, because I do think, Amanda, you get a lot of our content already. So
I
mean,
do.
you're probably sharing it on your personal page, but it's good. Yeah. You can go back and forth between personal and business. And then, yeah, so we'll get together on that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, guys. Well, if you all have any more questions, please feel free to chime in. But before we lose you all, I want to just wrap it up by saying thank you to Landmark Title.
Yes, thank you so much.
And to DPR for having us and bringing us on to do platforms specifically for DPR. We really appreciate our partnership with them. They do amazing work. We do amazing work, and we're just amazing all together. So
we love our DPR agents so much.
Yes, yes, it is. It's such a great partnership, because this is what this industry is really about. It is having those partnerships. And please know that you can rely on Landmark Title and your business development managers as part of your business team. We're not just on here telling you, okay, well, this is how you should do it. Now go out into the wild and go market your business. We are there to help you every step of the way. So anytime you have a question about marketing, anything real estate related, escrow and title needs, we have got you covered here at Landmark. And then there are 2 DPR offices that we serve in the Southeast Valley and 1 in Scottsdale. So we've got offices and marketing teams in both of those locations to serve you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, and with that being said,